What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the English Prescription. What's up, Shane?
What is going on, everybody? How you all doing tonight?
Good.
Shane's
Did you-
pumped.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I haven't
He
been
always
on the
is.
last 2 weeks, man. Been freaking stuck, doing family obligations. So,
Oh no.
yeah.
Those families. What's up, Johnny?
What would it be like? Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Well, guys, if you can't tell, we are joined tonight by Christian Ostrander. Um, I don't know. If you don't know who he is,
California kid.
you've been living under a rock.
I'm just a young punk. I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody.
Yeah, everybody knows him. Trust me.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, man. How are you doing, Christian?
I'm good. Went and fished Delta today. Been fishing a little bit, not too much lately, but just trying to get ready. I got two big tournaments coming up. I got that BAM Super 60 at Pedro next week. Got to get ready for that. And then I've been looking at a map. Got to go to some weird lake back east, Norfolk. So looking at a
Heard of
map,
it.
seeing what's up.
Man, that's gonna be quick because you fish what Super 60 next weekend, right?
Yep, and then I gotta hop on a plane. Hopefully, I make the top 10. That's Sunday. I gotta get on a plane Sunday night and try to fish Norfolk Monday.
Nice. So your boat and truck's back there ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I got it pretty made in the shade, man. Got a cool setup here at home. I get to run my team partner's boat. He doesn't. He just gives it to me. So
Nice.
it's killer.
And
Yeah.
what kind of boat is it?
Nice.
It's a Vexus, super sweet boat. One of my favorite boats for sure.
And how many horsepower?
Got a good old 300R on the back of that thing, and it scoots.
Oh,
Fun boat, funnest boat I've ever driven, ever. Not
What's
crazy
your-
fast.
No?
70,
So- okay.
70. It's just a really big sled.
Real
So they
big.
don't most other boats, 21 footers, you put a 300 on it, you're going like 77 or something like that. Those Vexuses are so heavy. So, but if you don't need to go any faster than 70, you start trying to go 75 years, you're going to kill yourself. You don't need to be doing that.
yeah.
Yeah. The ride's
Yeah.
really good on them though, right?
Oh, dude, it's the craziest boat in the world, and I don't even own one. It's unbelievable.
What's your boat back east? What are you on back?
I got a Skeeter. I've had a Skeeter for the last 2 years. 21-foot FXR. Love it. It's a great boat as well.
Nice. Nice. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yamaha on the back.
Got a good old Yami on the back. That's what I prefer. Yamaha's run. You could hit a telephone pole in the water and it's gonna still run. There ain't nothing stopping a Yamaha.
Nice.
So yeah.
So you fish out of the Vexus for Pedro?
Yeah, I'm gonna fish out of it. I fished out of it a couple weeks ago, and then I'm gonna fish out of it this one. So
Nice.
just got a new lower unit. Blew the lower unit on Saturday in a tournament. It was a
Oh, wow.
nightmare.
No,
Was a nightmare. Blew the lower unit. Begged CNC to come bring me a lower unit. They did. I had to get in the water, unbolt this lower unit, and shove a new one on there, and ripped it out there. Cashed a check. Didn't make my first cast till about 11:30. It was kind of a nightmare.
Oh,
But-
wow.
where are you fishing on that one?
That was at the Delta.
Okay. Was that
Yeah.
that was what tournament was it out there last weekend?
I was at Vince Harris. It was like the top 65 something pro teams.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
75 something, I think.
yeah. A bunch of good sticks showed up. I mean, there was some really good fishermen there, and the bite was terrible.
It was.
Freaking something's up with that place. So
What
It's
makes
on
it
or
so
off,
tough?
from what I know.
What's it
Yeah.
make it so tough all of a sudden?
I don't know. It's just March is a funky time out there. It used to not be so funky. I think it's still good, but that March, April, even February, it just doesn't seem like it kicks out the bags as it used to. So, but it seems like May, June, and July it kicks out bags. I don't know what's going on, but that's what I think. That's what I've seen the last 2 years. So I completely wrong. Seals, killing grass. I don't really care too much about the grass killing. Yeah, it sucks in some of your areas, but I don't think the fish die like when a seal grabs one by the belly.
You
Yeah.
think these high rain years we've had affecting it this time of year, and the temperatures have been so up and down lately last few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, I don't remember the Delta being so hot last March either. And then it started to pick up pretty good later April, May, and it was good. Big weights, big sacks. So maybe that's got something to do with it. So I sure hope so.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like it's been on a little bit of a decline lately. It'd be nice to get that thing back to its
Are they
heyday.
letting water out of the reservoirs to make that water move and rise, or is it's just normal?
So the deal is we got a ton of water north, right? Like
Yeah.
Oroville north or
Hmm.
Sacramento north, whatever. So all those rivers are dumping into the delta and just ripping on the northern part of the delta. Southern part of the delta, we haven't had much rain up at our lake, so they're not really letting a ton of water out. So that's how it kind of is.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
there?
But
Does it make the north better right now, or
well, I know every bag that wins is coming from the north, so every bag lately is North Delta. So
Well,
feel that
obviously
nobody,
pepper
more
running
water
now?
movement coming through there.
yeah, just flowing fresh oxygen could make all the world a difference.
Hmm.
So I do believe bass are. I do believe bass move. I believe that they'll. I think if you release a big fish 20 miles away from where you caught it, I bet you sometime that fish was going to be sitting right back where you caught that thing. They
Hmm.
move. They move.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they swim too.
they could
You
get
know,
in that current and just go with the current. No effort.
absolutely. I think they're like salmon, man. They know a body of water. They know where to go. So.
Makes
Interesting.
sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
That they're sure probably running from the seals all the way up north too.
Yeah, no
Although
kidding,
we did
man.
see one, I saw one. When did we go out there? It was January. I went out with a buddy of mine, and there was a seal like all the way up north. Like
Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
they don't
man,
care.
yeah, they're
They
following
don't
them
care.
everywhere. It's kind of
Yeah.
sucks seeing them way up there, but
That's a
Yeah,
good sign, though, isn't it? If you see a seal, you're around fish.
I think sometimes it's a good thing. I used to not believe they don't eat as many bass, and I still believe a little bit they don't eat a crazy amount of them. But they're
They follow.
around the stripers around the bait, bass are around that. I do
Hmm.
believe a lot of these seals just sit out in the middle, pluck away carp and salmon and stripers. But when they're hungry and there ain't none of those around, they're gonna slide up to them rocks.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And bass are dumb. Bass don't run, especially a big bass. You get your boat next to a big old bass, he just cruises off real slowly. That seal, that seal just goes up to that bass and eats it. That bass ain't running. It ain't doing nothing. So half of that's good, half of that's bad. Sometimes I feel like a seal might go up to an 8 pounder and it doesn't move and he doesn't want to eat it because he doesn't want to run away. Get
Yeah,
by a
Yeah.
big striper, you get by a big carp, big catfish, that thing's
They're
out of
gone.
there. It's out of there. And that
And then
seal,
the chase is on.
the chase is on, man. I think those seals are so dang fast. I think they catch up to a carp in a second, striper in a second. So,
So, well, dude, I don't really want to talk too much about Pedro then, because you do have the Super 60 coming up.
it don't
I
matter to me.
totally spaced that, man. Like,
It's all different. We could talk about it. It don't matter to me. It ain't going to be nothing the same. So that's what
But
I'm kind of pumped up about. So,
where can we go there just to catch dinks? Let's talk about that, huh?
dude, Pedro, you could every corner of Pedro, there's fish. That's what I love about it, man. It's such a healthy fishery. Every single bank that you're looking at, anywhere that your boat is, there is
Yep.
fish under the
There's
boat.
fish. Yeah.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, Pedro's been pretty good to me this year. So
Yeah, this year's been really fantastic. And
Yeah.
I've seen years of Pedro, man. You can always catch fish, but 15 pounds is a really, really good sack. And it sort of was too a couple weeks ago, but I've seen it where 15 wins almost every tournament. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about winter all the way to summer. It never changes. It's always
Yeah.
15. So it's just cycles around. I think it's pretty good right now. So there was a couple BBTs out there. I believe like 20 something won it the other day. So, 20-pound sacks are being caught. So
Yeah.
just
It's
need a
A
getting
couple
kicker.
weeks back, I think 26. Didn't take it like
Yeah,
probably a
someone took
month and a half
26 in
ago.
February.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
old
That's when
sack of
John and
fish.
I went out. So,
Yeah, it's there. There's a lot of trout in the lake, a lot of crappie in the lake. They eat a lot of big crappie. So big fish, big bass. Sometimes,
yeah.
man, they don't plan as much. You don't see much life going on, and the weights aren't as good.
So,
So
do you think the forward facing minnow technique has helped with these big bags, or
I don't think that's really been much of a gig out here. I think Clear Lake for sure has, but Pedro can be a decent minnow lake, but I don't think that it's phenomenal. Like at Pedro, I haven't caught any toads on a minnow or anything like that. You're
mm,
much better throwing a Senko or a jig or a swim bait to get a toad than a minnow. So Pedro, no. Other lakes around here, yeah, definitely Clear Lake. Somehow they suck up that minnow, but
Dude, and it's such a soft bite up there when you get bit on that thing. It is
so
crazy. You
fun. I've
don't you
done
don't
it
even
once.
feel it. You're shaking it. It's like, is that a
Rod just
fish?
starts
And it's like, oh
bending.
yeah, there it is. That is. And it's just
It's
seven,
fun.
6, 7. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fun, man. That's definitely the place to be. So
it is a fun bite for sure. It's definitely a
it's a
fun
fun
technique.
bite. Takes a little
I'm
time to get a little dialed in with it, but
I'm
you gotta
tired of
have,
looking at that stupid screen up at Clear Lake. I'm
yeah,
I'm telling you, but it's been a fun summer or a winter doing it up there. But we're
yeah.
headed back up tomorrow, working a half day, head up there, and we're fishing the BBT tomorrow up there. So
Oh shoot, there's a BBT up there, yeah, on Saturday, I believe.
yep,
Dang it, that'd be cool, man. Wish there was more tournaments to fish. It's kind of a funny year. There's not as many big stuff to fish. Besides Bam's
yeah.
got all their stuff, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, because New
Yeah.
Gen, I was planning on doing New Gen, and then they
They're
canceled
out.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's it. So I'm kind of in a funky stage. Like, man, I
yeah, 'cause-
really want to be back east, but back east is so tough. It's so hard. I don't need to. In my life, I love fishing. I love it,
Hmm.
but I don't love it that much. Now I love it. I love it a lot, but
Yeah.
not to go try to learn every lake back east and be Mr. King Dingling, and I don't want to do that. That's some next level stuff, man. I want to have another life besides just fishing all the time. And I fish all the time.
Well,
So
and you want to keep that fun. You want to keep that drive
exactly.
in you, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yep,
you get back there and you start dealing with some of these. I mean, what they draw 250 boats a
Yeah.
circuit.
And
I
it's
mean,
yeah, it's funner than heck, but
yeah,
it's just like I don't know where to go. So it's like,
yeah,
what are you gonna
and
do out here? No matter what lake I'm going to, I already got a pretty good idea before I even show up what I'm gonna
sure,
do and how I'm gonna catch them. And the lakes aren't humongous, and I always got a semi chance to win. Back there. I mean, don't be wrong. I've had some good tournaments. I've had a lot of fun, but man, there ain't beating those kids
and
on
it's
lakes that take 3 hours to get to one side to the other.
yeah.
Those
Like I
yeah,
kids
said,
know.
yeah,
the
Those
size of
kids
them
know.
is,
yeah.
you're burning your full 50-gallon tank
Yeah.
plus running, all day long, and it's crazy how much bigger those are. When you thought Clear Lake was big or Shasta's big, and you see one of those, you're like, oh man,
Yeah,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
What was it like your first time going back there? Let's say on one, you fished some rivers back there and went, holy shit!
Yeah,
Like you're talking miles across. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah. I
I
I
had,
actually it's nuts. I went to St. Clair, and in the dead middle of St. Clair, you can't see land.
yeah,
So it's
that's
just like,
crazy.
dude, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's
It's like
crazy.
nice. And and the last day of practice last year, they it was going to be really windy. Everyone knew that. Everyone wasn't going out. I didn't drive all the way to St. Clair, Michigan, wherever it is, to not go out and practice. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. First hour, it was dumping rain. You couldn't really see in front of you, but I went out to the middle of the lake like a smart guy. And all of a sudden, here comes the waves. It was the end. It was the end. There was no getting back. I called my mom with the one bar of service I had, and I said, "Hey, I love you, Mom," because I wasn't going to make it in. It was nuts. It took me
That's crazy.
2 hours to get to a bank, and then have someone go get my trailer and get my.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm talking waves so big. I mean, you can't see nothing when you're down in them. And you're out in
Wow.
the middle. You're nowhere near land. You're putting on every life vest you have on in the boat on, and you're just bouncing around.
You
And you're praying you
puckered pretty
don't spear
hard.
that wave and sink
Puckered.
the boat.
Can't be out there in a kayak.
No, no. So that was my worst experience. But yeah, those lakes could be really fun. Biggest thing is I got a killer group of people to travel with. I've made some really good connections back east. So we have a killer group to travel with, super stud kids, heck of fun. We all in practice help each other what we're catching them on. So that's like that. And I've learned things back east that's 100% made me quadrillion times better at fishing. Just going back there and fishing those is going to make me come back here and win way more tournaments.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's harder for us to go back there and fish, or for those guys to come back here and fish?
Honestly, the real answer is I bet you if they came here, they would whoop our butts left and right. I bet you give them 2 days on Don Pedro, they're going to whoop my butt. I'm sorry. It's the truth. I wish I could tell you I was better than that. But those kids are so good. It would literally blow your mind. Those kids live fishing. We live fishing too, but man, it's a different breed of humans out there. Grandma, everyone fishes. Everyone
So,
fishes.
so where do you think that, I've always wondered that too, because, obviously some of these bigger circuits don't even come out here to the West. So what do you think's the difference out here in California versus, all back east like that? Why we have so many people out? I mean, do you think it's because of all the, activists and all that? Or, there's got to be something like out here. A lot of us all fish, obviously, but nothing like back east. What do you think's the difference there?
Culture?
What's that?
The culture, you think? Or is it
So
just
it's not like there's a gazillion better guys, but I mean, there's 75 guys for sure back there, 100 guys you bring out here are gonna whoop your butt. But I don't know, man. They just maybe money. A lot of rich kids that want it. Okay, there's a
Mm-hmm.
difference between being rich, a rich kid, and trying to be a pro bass fisherman than a rich kid who wants it. That's what it all
Yeah.
comes down to. You know,
Yeah.
these kids got more money than you could ever imagine back east, and they want it. They don't got a guide. They don't got to go to work. They're out there. They're ordering tackle. They're sliding Pop's card on the tackle warehouse. They're getting everything they want. I'm telling you, that's what it is, And that my
Yeah.
life, my parents have never, ever, ever paid an entry fee. I've
Yeah.
always had to pay my own entries, own gas, you name it, and that gets a lot of fire in a lot of these broke fishermen's eyes. There's a lot of broke fishermen that are really good, just because when it comes down to punching your card number in to pay that $2,000 entry, whatever, however much it is, that's all that money you just earned. You
yeah?
better go
Yeah.
get that back, champ. It's
Mhm.
time to grind. You ain't showing
Yeah.
up snoozing your alarm game day morning, practice morning. You're up, you're ready to rip, you're ready to go get dialed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just, looking at like, boat tournament numbers out there compared to out here in the West, and
Oh yeah.
even in the kayak side, I mean, we're lucky out here if we have the native no limit coming up, and I'm sure that tournament's going to draw 100 boat,
Yeah.
kayaks, but
Mhm.
dude, if it was back east, you'd have over 200 kayaks on there. You know what I mean?
I truly believe, yeah, you said something about
There's
culture and whatnot, but
there's
I'll
a
be honest
difference.
with you. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Now, a lot of guys ain't gonna like to hear this, but California fishermen are sissies. They are sissies. They don't want to put $200 into an entry fee because they didn't catch them in practice or nothing. They don't want to
Yeah.
do it, and they don't want to see their name at the bottom of the list. I don't care if my name's at the bottom of the list. I'm gonna get them at the next one. These
Yeah.
guys are scared of competition. There's a lot of tournaments that I can't fish now just because Joe Blow is mad that he can't beat me just because he can't beat me.
Yeah.
So I can't. Now you're gonna ruin my Wednesday or whatever tournament it is because those folios can't figure them out. You you give me 2 days on the Delta to run around, and I've been on it in a year. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna find them.
Hmm.
It's all everyone says. Oh, he, whatever gets to fish all the time. There's a lot. The biggest difference from being able to fish all the time or putting in time on the water or putting the right time on the water. I ain't going down banks or just because this or that. I'm every stop I make's got a reason, a rhyme or
Yeah.
reason, whether
Right.
what time of year it is. So
And then
back east, everyone wants to fish against the best. If Wheeler's showing up, there will be way more entry fees. Everyone wants to go say, "Hey, I beat Wheeler that time on Gunnersville."
Yeah.
Hey,
And it
you
doesn't
know,
matter where they fall on the list, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
Wheeler could finish 10th and that guy
oh
could
yeah,
finish ninth and go, hey,
that's a win.
I
That's
beat
a
Wheeler.
win in
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
back
I
here,
got you.
no, 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 no. Back here, man, guys want to fish the BBTs or the future pros, and you know what? Hey, do what they want to do. None of my business. So that's the way it is, man. That's why a lot of these events, BBT pulls a lot of people. Future Pro pulls a lot of people. But any team stuff where everyone can fish, or even pro-ams, man, guys don't want to put in $750. Go fish a pro-am, but that's stuff you regret when you're older. Do
so
it.
Yeah.
so tell everybody how you go and attack a pre-fishing day. So I've been with you at Clear Lake,
Hmm.
and we actually went completely around the whole entire lake.
Oh yeah, and we found the winning fish, didn't we, John?
Yes,
In
that's
the
right.
first day of practice.
Yes, and
So
and so explain what your tactics are, because I think people go about it the wrong way. They kind of like sit on one spot, and they just sit there and they're not getting bit, and they're sitting
mhm.
there. Well, I caught them here before. Well, you can't catch memories. So just explain what you do.
I turn and burn. So there's no limit on how much I'm gonna burn gas wise. I'm gonna probably burn closer to the entire tank. So most practice days, if it's a big tournament, I'm gonna burn so much gas. I roll up on a spot, I pan that scope around, I'm casting while I'm doing it. If I don't see any fish, I don't see life going on, I'm out of there, whether it's 100 yards away or 4 or 5 miles away. But you got to hit a lot of water. You got to think of what they're doing. First off, a lot of these guys don't try to think of what the fish should be doing, what's going on. So what are they eating? So we're, just like that day Myers and I were out there, we both had a ton of rods. We're trying different lures. And you know what? We probably popped 15, 20, 25 spots before we hit a spot. And it was gangbusters. Myers and I are catching a fish every cast. And then I win the pro-am off that spot. Things like that. Um, I move around a lot. Guys ain't gonna, even if you sit here and tell them, even if guys sit here and listen to this on how much I move and how much you got to move, they ain't gonna move. They ain't gonna move. It's so easy to sit there and look at the stupid trees on that point and just fucking goof off, eat your Sammy. Guys ain't gonna do it, man. I see it all the time. Throw the same
That's
dang bait.
that's one of my biggest things going from the kayak to the boat is remembering that I can go do that now.
Yeah.
And like I don't have to stick to a 3, 4, 5 mile radius. I can go run
Yeah.
from one end to the other,
Exactly.
and not. So that's a hard thing for me right now. Is trying to
Yeah.
remember that.
So,
Yeah.
so the key thing you said too was you got to know what the fish are doing, or
Exactly.
you got to think you know what the fish are doing, or at least
Yeah.
have an idea of where they should be at.
Yeah.
Now when we took off in the morning, uh, I'm not going to be specific or anything, but we hit so many different spots, and you checked so many different things, and you pull up to that one spot, and it was just a little.
Yeah.
Actually, it was just a little bit different colored water in this one little
Exactly.
spot. And I forget how many fish we caught, but okay, let's go. And
Yeah.
then after that, it was like, okay, now
We got it. Yeah.
these fish are setting up in specific locations, and that was the key, was they were all migrating to these spawning areas, and
Mhm.
they were definitely in specific locations. And remember how I was go, what about that spot over there? Oh, I caught a 6 over there.
Yeah.
Why are we pre-fishing today? You know what I mean? Because I figured, you had too much water, really, but that one area, it was very special, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
was. They were loaded. Perfect.
Yeah.
Clear Lake, mouth of a creek spot. Everyone's north end of the lake, and we've switched it up. Every boat. It was a big tournament, dude. It was like 100 and
Yeah.
it was like 140 plus boats, and everyone wanted to be up north in the crowd. And Myers and I sent that puppy down south, and within first couple hours, we found the winning fish. So
hmm
mouth of a creek.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And,
So
and it was rough out there that day, and that skeeter ate that stuff up too. By the
remember
way.
that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have. I think it's like 10 to 20, like 2 p.m. on 11 to 2, somewhere in that range. So
At Clear Lake Saturday.
yeah, Friday, tomorrow, and Saturday. So
Yeah.
It
Gotcha.
depends on which way it's blowing too.
it's coming from Lakeport down this time. So at
Right.
least going back to the ramp, you could be in it, like facing heading into it. So we'll see.
James, I met you, right? You had that. You bought that Triton from your buddy, didn't you?
Yep, I bought it from Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, over at Jerry's. Yep.
Really? That was your
Yep.
boat, huh, Shane?
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. You gave him a killer deal. I was pretty
Yeah, I
jealous of
did.
that. I was
Yeah.
drooling. Was I not drooling over that
He
boat? Was I
was.
not?
He was.
There's something
"If you
about
don't
that
buy
old
it, I'm
school
buying
boat.
it."
Hey, part of it is I know I can go out on that boat anytime.
I
so.
know it.
That's
I
right.
know it.
That's right.
That's
It's a far cry different than it was when we had it, though.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
We've made some.
I just
some
didn't have the
changes.
time. So
Yep.
Exactly.
We're-
But you know
we're
what? The
gonna-
kayak world is way more friendlier than the bass fishing world.
Oh yeah.
And it's just the way it is, man. When I get into, let's say if I get into a little area and there's 5 bass boats, everyone's mother effering each other. We might not even be in
Yeah.
a tournament. What's that dude? What's that dude doing in here? Who is that? That's bass fishermen. That's bass
Yeah.
fishermen. We
No.
all kind of hate each other, and it's fun. And it's fun. It makes it more fun.
Yeah.
So I love everyone that bass fishes, man. But if guys just take shit a little too serious, you don't go
Yeah.
rolling up right on top of someone. We're all gonna have a good time. So
Yeah.
but, you know how it is. Even in the kayak, you say, "Hey, how's it going?" And that guy in that boat will just sit there and look at you.
Yeah.
Not even say
don't get-
anything. Yeah.
Not even say anything. You'll be in a bass boat too and say, "Hey." Oh, they don't give a shit, man. Some old dudes, dude. That's just the way they roll, and you just gotta smile.
That's
You know.
what I'm afraid of this weekend, is that it's just going to be a giant community hall wherever we go this weekend.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
clearly-
and I
clearly-
love it.
That's what it is.
Dude, that's how the lake's setting up right now, though. Because
Yep.
a couple weeks back, for our tournament up there for BAM, dude, like you pull out to any of those mouths, man, there was like 4 or 5 boats stacked up on it, on top of kayaks, on top of more kayaks.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah, Myers and
That'd
I
be
talked
interesting.
about that one time.
Yeah.
I think I was leading a tournament on Clear Lake, and I was telling Myers, I'm like, dude, it's going to be a mess the next day. I said, everyone knows where I got them, and they're going there. And I said, there's going to be 15 boats sitting on there. And Myers says, dude, get in your underwear. They're out of there. Get
That's
in your
Myers,
underwear.
man.
He said, I said,
That's
dude, it's going to be
Myers.
30 degrees. He said, get in your undies, dude. I promise you'll have the hole to yourself.
I think that's a little PG of what John probably actually said.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was PG to the max. How about that?
You know, the
How
thing
about
is you know, it's sad because that's what happens on 2 and 3 day tournaments. You know,
Mhm.
Yep.
they
Yeah,
find
of
out
course.
where you're at, or
Yeah.
someone says, "Oh, I saw him over here," you know, and then you pull up. You're the last boat out. You pull up, and there's 5 guys on it, and you're
Yeah.
like, bros, come on now. I had this place myself yesterday. You know, you guys need to pack it up and find
Oh,
your
but
own
we found
stuff.
it in practice.
You know, you need to pack it up and find something
Yeah.
else. But you know, on day 2, what did you do? There was something a little different you did, and when you got your honey hole, it was a little dried up. And remember, you went around the corner,
Went around the corner when
and that
you
other
know,
that
100
other little
yards.
opening,
Yeah, another little opening, and
and
just
they were
started,
there.
and every
8
20
8
minutes
pounder,
caught a big one. Yeah,
yeah, 8 pounder on
yeah,
a LV,
yeah,
and
reeling it.
yeah, reeling it. So, and I asked you, I said, what made you reel it in? Because everybody else is yo-yoing their LV. I mean, everybody's just yo-yoing their LV. And what was your answer?
I just said, dude, I had to do something different. The fish are there. I just started reeling the dumb thing in, and 8 pounder, you just
Choked it.
ropes it, chokes it. So, yeah. You got a dang good memory there, John. I'm pretty
Well,
pretty
I don't,
impressed.
yeah, I don't forget much. I tell you that.
He can't
I
work a
forget what I
phone, but he's got a
shouldn't.
good memory.
Where it comes to fishing, I always remember stuff.
That's
At
funny.
least I tried to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then here he comes in. He's got what 28 pounds.
Yeah.
And then day 2, what did you have? Another 28 pound.
That was 28 day 2.
Oh,
And
28 day 2.
yeah, day 28 day 2. 20 the first day I didn't know Clear Lake as well. And you know, you could sit on the fish and rope them, and I had it to myself, and I went in there and only caught like 22, and
You
left
left.
them. Left them. And you know what? I got nervous. I ran all the way. And that remember that was way down south. I ran all the way into Lakeport, fished around, wasn't Colin. And I panicked, ran all the way back down south to fish it for the last hour and a half. And sure enough, 2 old little 10-boat kayakers saw me whacking them in the morning. We're sitting on the hole, whacking them.
That wasn't me.
Lost my mind. But you know what? The next day they were there too. They were they didn't hit my juice. They were cool. I was there before them in the morning. I told me I'm crushing them. I said I don't care if you guys fish around me, but do not hit this.
The spot wasn't very big.
No.
I mean, it was just
Yeah.
a little high spot, a little different colored high spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how Clear Lake works. You know? It just these little. I mean, you know, like Don Pedro, was it 500 feet deep or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, well, there, you know, 2 foot change was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that lake, that Clear Lake, is something else. From all the years I fished it, you know, it's like a timing thing. It's like you almost set your clock. You throwing a buzzbait underneath this dock at 11 o'clock on high sun. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't show up when it's not shaded underneath it. You're just wasting your time. You know, and even you know deep cranking or working island tops, or you know it just turns on.
Exactly.
You better be there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell us about so our fisheries here are basically choke full of bass, and
Yeah.
they're huge schools of bass. Now back east, it's not the case, is it?
No, there's a ton of other trash fish. I mean, tons and tons of other kinds of fish, other than bass. So it's very bizarre, man. You just catch a lot of other species, and it's crazy to think that some days here at home, I mean, these lakes, the bass are the main predators, man. It's crazy to think some days we go out and we catch one fish. We catch one fish on Clear Lake. We catch two fish at Don Pedro and McClure, and there's 1 billion fish just sitting down there, and we can't do that. Yeah, try going back east.
Right.
And some days you're like,
Yeah.
how in the world am I gonna get a bite today? So just like Kentucky Lake, 2 weeks ago, 45-degree water in the morning. So muddy a water that you can't. It's not even 1 inch of visibility. I ain't getting a bite. Just blast off. I ain't getting a bite. I ain't getting a bite, but I kept confident. Dirty water, scoping. I learned how to scope really good with a jig by my buddy Andrew Loberg in dirty, disgusting water. And started every dot I'd see sitting on a rock. Throw the jig over there. 45-degree water, dirty as heck. Catch a big fish.
Yeah,
So,
you fished pretty good on that one, right?
day one I was in the top 10. It was pretty sick, but
Yeah.
day two I didn't have a clue, man. I tried my
No.
hardest. And I cashed the last check.
You cast a check though. Yeah.
Last check, yeah. So, but no idea anything about Kentucky Lake. And here's my biggest issue: is I get in these little funks that I'd much rather be home here in California. Is when I show up to these lakes back east, I do zero research. It's like good job, kid. You're only spending $5,000 to show up to Kentucky Lake, and you haven't even looked. I'll tell you what, how lost I was at Kentucky Lake is I didn't even have a map chip. I was like, nice. So I had to go try to wrangle up a map chip when I got there because it was all shallow and stumps everywhere. I should have had map chip. I've gone to every dang lake I feel like back there. But man, I just don't I need to focus more on the doing your homework when you're not there. I don't like to do that at all. I hate to do that. I don't want to look at some or a podcast about Kentucky Lake. I won't do it. I've never watched a podcast in my life. How about that? I've never watched a podcast in my life. I know. I I go fishing, and when it's time to go to not fish, I'm done fishing for the day. I'm not looking at fishing. I'm not doing none of that.
So when you go on YouTube and you check, what do you check, boaters or kayakers? This is a loaded question.
I don't know, man. There's some good kayakers for sure.
They
I
give
think I don't know, man. I honestly I don't YouTube. We're gonna skip that question, Myers. What else, Myers? What'd you have for dinner, Myers? What'd you have for dinner?
Let's
Myers,
see.
come on, man.
What the hell did I have for dinner?
He
Oh.
watches. Just he'll probably watch Damien, right, and see what he's doing.
Chicken and fresh vegetables. The fresh
Nice.
vegetables, it was broccoli, carrots, cauliflower. It was delicious. Steamed.
Nice.
Man, I could eat the whole bag except for my wife won't let me go to sleep in the same bed later.
That's funny.
But yeah, so when you head back east, North Fork,
Mhm.
okay, and then so you fish not this weekend, but next weekend
Yep.
at Don Pedro, and you leave Sunday night.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So you sleep all the way there then?
I sure try, but it's hard. It's freaking
hard.
hard to sleep in a plane.
You start
man.
practice on Saturday
They
Monday.
start
or
practice.
on Monday? That Monday, right?
They start. Yeah, I do. All the guys that are already there start on Sunday, so I'm
Okay.
gonna already miss Sunday. But it's all right, If you
Yeah.
can't figure them out in 1 or 2 days, you don't deserve to be there. So even on a new body of water, I mean, the cool thing about East, it's way more. I'm talking way more of a pattern than just, here at home. I mean, so you get in the right area. It's
It don't matter.
nuts what you throw. Back East, I mean, you got to kind of dial in the pattern, which is super cool. Don't be wrong. There's patterns here and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But man, back east, you got to get on. Once you get on a little something, man, you could take it to the next level for sure.
So during a tournament, kind
Mhm.
of curious, when you're back east, um, do you run and gun? I mean, do you give like you caught fish there in practice and you
Yeah.
pull up, 10 minutes goes by, you haven't been bit, you pulling that trolling motor up?
I've done that on some tournaments back east, and I've top 10. The two big ones I ran and gunned like crazy, and I top 10 in an open and in a big MLF championship. I ran that lake, both those lakes, looking for key stuff. Top 10 in both of them. It was super cool. But the last two, I've only fished back east. It's already dang near April. I fished two tournaments back east, and both tournaments I hunkered in. Said, you know what? Place is tough. I'm getting bites here. Let's sit down. Let's chill out here. Let's catch every bass in the area. And that's what we did. And we almost cashed a check in both of them. So it's just a time and place and knowing when to make that decision. As spazzy youngsters, we want to move, So, and back there, you get a little wind on the water and you want to run,
Forget it.
man, you just spent more time behind the wheel than trying to put fish in the box.
Beating
So,
yourself up in your equipment, huh?
yeah. So, yeah. So that's that state of mind. Yeah. But there's always a time and place when you got to sit still or you got to run. So, here at
How hard
home,
is that for you to make that decision? And
it's not that hard once I know when I know the answer, it ain't hard. It ain't hard when I know the answer when it's time to rip the trolling motor up. When I know I'm just going to be sitting on the spot, sitting in the area, rooming around. I don't hesitate. I don't start putting crazy ideas in my head. I just do what I got to do. And at the end of the day, can't be mad at it.
Yeah.
That's one other big thing, man. I've been doing this a long time. Don't get mad at it. At the end of the day, it comes to weighing. Yeah, you might be a little depressed and on suicide watch, but you know what? At the end of the day, you're gonna be all right.
yeah,
That's
You're
right.
fishing's like bipolar. It's way up or way down. There's
Yeah.
Heck
nothing
yeah.
in
Tomorrow's
between.
another day.
hmm
Mhm.
And I've
Yeah,
learned that, man. I've learned that in some terrible, terrible streaks of not doing good. You go on streaks. It's all a streak.
yeah.
You hit little times where you're the man. You're hot, and you
Yeah.
go through times, man. There's every bass you think's running away from you. So
You got like instead of fish juice on you, Don always called it fish away.
fish away.
Fish away juice on you.
And,
So you're fishing Division 2,
mhm.
right? And there's a Division 1. So what's the difference between last year and this year with that?
Yeah, so two divisions, four tournaments apiece, top 50 from each division goes to a fall region. Three events. The elites can fish them as well. They take the top 10 in points to the elites, which is super cool format. Awesome. Heck yeah, I want to go fish against the elites in the fall. Some good lakes too. Okeechobee, Pickwick,
Wow.
Champlain. And I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to be able to fish them. But it's super cool. But Bam's got a big one on the Delta, same date as Okeechobee. Bam's got a giant one on Clear Lake, same date as Pickwick. Hard to say my decision. I I would probably not be able to say a word if I watched someone on the Delta win $50,000 when I knew I could probably show up and have a crazy chance of winning. And I was back east at Pickwick. You know, I just got to make a big decision. And you know
That's
what?
a
I'll
hard
make,
decision right
oh,
there.
dude, what if I make the elites? How badass it'd be to be like, dude, you're on the elites? That would be
Hmm
sick, and that's the goal.
Yeah.
And I know I can do it, but you got to have the right mindset, man. I bet you if I was there at Pickwick, the whole time I'd be trying to find the results of the Delta. Who won? Who did this? What? Clear Lake. Are you joking? In the fall? Oh gosh, I would just be freaking shaking. I'd be losing my mind, 100%. So, well, I just kind of told you guys the answer. So
Yeah.
I don't even know why I got a boat back east. I need to be right here in this state.
You're gonna go back
So
and do it again next year, though, for sure. Right?
I'll go back and do it for a few years. It's super fun, but you know what? Like I said, I don't need to be, Mr. Bass Pro. I love home. There ain't nothing like California. So we'll see. We will see.
Nice.
When you go back east and you're driving for days, right?
Hmm.
I've never really driven for days going back east. James
Hmm.
has. Um, so what goes through your mind? I mean, is it like, okay, this is my focus, why am I doing this? Or, what are my chances? Or what are you thinking?
Some of that I'm going. I'm excited. I can't wait to launch the boat. I want to win. I do feel like I could win back there. Uh, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped. I This year was a little bit of a weird gig to get out there because I was gonna miss. I was thinking about that fall stuff and how it wasn't gonna shape up. But most of the time when I'm sliding out there, man, that's when I do my research. That's when I go. The best thing ever is I would go to the MLF website and scroll. If let's say it was on Table Rock, they'd have weigh-ins on Table Rock from the past in the fall, same time, where whatever. I'd watch the weigh-in videos. The cats will tell you right there what they were doing, where they were doing it, what they were throwing. Give me such a good idea what's going on, what that place does in the fall, and that's when when I've really hit back there and I've done well is when I freaking do my research like that. But I don't know. Long drives are cool for that, man. I love driving. Driving's when you think. When you sit there in that car, driving that's when you do most of your thinking. That's when you do all your thinking, everything in the world. So I do like driving. And you would think like I bet like a ton of people do. Oh, I've never been to Clear Lake. It's a 4-hour drive. I've driven from Oklahoma to the Wednesday Nighter on the Delta. I drove from Oklahoma to the Wednesday Nighter on the Delta. I typed it in my phone. It said it was going to take me 32 hours straight, and I did it in 30. How about that? And I made it to the Wednesday. You want to talk about filling jugs up with pee while you're driving? Oh, dude, I was so hardcore, man. I was
That's
crazy. And I did it. And we went and fished a
That's
Wednesday. And
that. Damien and I went back east together last year to Oklahoma. We took my truck. I said, "Hey, dude, if it starts snowing, wake me up." Because I drove all the way there. I mean, we pulled some. It was a long day that first day, and on the way back, I was done. Like pretty early in the evening, I was like, "Dude, just here you go. When it starts snowing, wake me up." What was it, John? Like 11 o'clock that night. You were coming
Yeah,
home from. He was coming
Damien
home
and I are talking. Yeah.
from Folsom, and I hear Damien's talking to him. I hear, "Oh man, it's snowing, dude." I woke up from a dead sleep. I was like, "Bro, I told you to pull over." He's like, "Dude, just start snowing on us." It's like, "Oh well, here we go."
Yeah.
that's cool.
Damien and I will talk to each other, keep each other awake, and and talking about stuff. And he got quiet, and I hear this like I don't know, it was like this weird sound, and I go, "What's up?" He goes, "It's snowing."
Yeah. He's like,
So,
"I don't like driving in the snow." I said, "All right, just wake
yeah,
me up."
he doesn't drive in the snow.
That's funny.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I won't tell the whole story on air, but yeah, it got eventful a few times. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Oh
Damien
man,
fished Eastman Saturday in a kayak tournament, and he had 33 pounds by 9 o'clock in the morning. He finished with 106 1/4 inches.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah,
You gonna hop into a kayak one day, Christian?
It looks fun. It looks fun. I'm being serious. It does look fun. Will I ever do it? No. No.
At least he's honest. That's
Christian
funny.
would get too frustrated because you can't go nowhere.
It's like,
Five
I'm
miles
5 miles
an
an
hour.
hour. This is bullshit.
Yeah, that's a lot of sandwiches you'll be eating. You ain't got time to eat while on the kayak. You got time to eat. Yeah.
Looks fun though. It does look fun.
Yeah, it's all right. It's kind of funny how you say about some boaters, they're like literally bump you out of the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't be
Pull
wrong.
right up.
I've gotten close to some kayaks too, but I'm friendly, man. We're all out here
Yeah,
trying to have some fun.
yeah, we're all
So
yeah. As long as you say something,
yeah, always
hey,
got to say something. Always
yeah,
communicate. What's a
yeah.
kayaker gonna do? Not say hi?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Some of the
dude.
friendliest guys you'll meet, I'll tell you.
And most of the kayakers will be like, dude, there's a ton of fish down here.
Yeah, I'm catching them
I
on
haven't
this.
caught one. I haven't caught one, but man.
Oh,
Hey, so I made this run at Berryessa, and there's this island top flat, had a bunch of brush on it, and I was catching topwater fish and swim jig fish. And I come around the corner, and there's a guy sitting right on it. I'm like, oh shoot, a kayak guy, and I started to veer off, and he's like, no, no, come on over, fish right next to me. Something that's the only time I've ever heard that and it was from a kayak guy.
well, I was like when we did Almanor what was that, 2 years ago? I made that hour and 20-minute run to my spot, and there's a boat sitting on it. It's fishing that club tournament. I was out there that weekend, and I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding. It's the only spot in the whole lake. I covered like 15 miles of water that day, the practice day, and like the only spot I had. I was like, crap. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm either shooting over there, fishing in front of you and working back towards you, or do you care if I work behind you? He's like, oh, no, go ahead, fish behind me. They fished it pretty quick, and luckily enough, he didn't find anything. He took off, and I finally moved into the juice. I was like, all right, cool. At least he took off quick. Didn't find everything.
I'd much rather fish behind a boater than a kayaker.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Kayaker will beat every little inch of that place up.
Especially that's what all we got.
Yeah, catch every fish in that area.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, where bass boat will pull up. Oh, they're not biting, leave. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yep.
It's like we lost Christian, huh?
We did. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he
He
was
pulled
lost.
he pulled a Johnny.
Yeah.
I gotta use my phone, my computer.
Yeah,
It
don't
freezes.
touch your computer again, John. Oh, that thing was a death
freezes
of us.
up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have I don't know. I'll have my brother help me with it. They're all computer.
He's back.
I don't know what's going on.
It's all good. Yeah, man. So you got BAM Super 60 coming up. So you look at there'll be some good competition on that one too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't really like the zero weights. I don't like the catching small ones to get in the top 10. They zero the weights, Dave 3. But you know what? We're gonna save them. We're gonna save them. We're gonna hammer them. Day 3. So that's a lot of people. 69, 70 people, and you got to make the top 10. That ain't gonna be easy. That is not gonna be easy. So just go have some fun. So that, and then man, summer's almost here. I'm pumped up for that. And then I'm gonna do a ton of guiding on the Delta this April, May, June, July. I'm gonna try to do a ton of guiding on the Delta and Clear Lake as well. So that's basically how I make my money, and I love it. I freaking love it, man. I get a really good rate and take people out. There's really not many guys on the Delta that guide, so I get a lot of clients, and a lot of people see the struggle of the Delta. A lot of people go out there and see how terrible it is. It's so to take out a lot of people, show them what's up, catch a lot of nice fish. Summer's way more fun to guide than right now.
So what if they want to book a guide trip with you? Where do they go?
You can look me up, Facebook or Instagram, Christian Ostrander Fishing. All my stuff's there. Send me a message or give me a call. My phone number's 209-648-3778. Give me a call, shoot me a text. Love to get you guys out there, man. Like I said, that's what I do for a living. I truly believe I'm different than a lot of guides, man. I got a lot of energy to be out there. We're gonna go have fun. We're gonna fish 9-hour days. We're gonna talk about everything, and we're gonna whack some fish, and we're gonna burn some gas.
That's awesome. So you're gonna do so when you get back from your next tournament back east, you start on the Delta, you think, or you gonna?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna fish the one bass at Clear Lake, and then I'll probably boogie to the Delta, and that's all I'm gonna do is guide. Couple tournaments here and there. There's not quite too many tournaments in the summer, but we're gonna make a pile of cash, and goal is to buy a brand new boat with cash before the fall. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Nice.
That's the goal.
What are
Guys.
you
That's a good goal.
getting a Vexus?
Yeah, right. You know, as much as I love a good old Vexus, I can't. My pockets don't say 120 grand.
Right.
So I think I
Stick
can
with
make.
the Skeeter.
Yeah. I'll get a Phoenix. Phoenix got a sweet little boat they just came out with called the 721 XL. Super fast little boat, sexy little boat. I want one bad. They got good contingency money. It's the only reason I'm buying a new boat. Contingency
Okay.
money. Look at
Yeah.
Don Pedro 2 weeks ago. I lost out on 9 grand of contingency money because I wasn't running a new boat, you know. But
Yeah.
That's
you know,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah. So can't be doing that stuff. The first year I had that Skeeter, I made like 25 grand of contingency money.
Wow.
First year I
That's
ran,
huge. Yeah, that's
dude.
huge.
Yamaha money. I would get Yamaha money in tournaments if I've got 15th place. Yamaha pays like nobody's business.
Okay.
So yeah, stuff like that, man. You got to be running a new boat, and here I am, not running a new boat, but you live and you learn.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, guys, if you want to have some fun on the water and learn something, because I think anybody gets on the water with Christian, they're gonna learn something here and there
Oh yeah. You
for
bet.
sure. So hit them up, guys.
appreciate it.
Let them take you fishing. Do a little guide trip with them. Do you
Might
get
do
to a
that here
certain
in the
point
summer.
where you do like if you gotta wait till you're guiding at Clear Lake to go up there? If you got somebody call you and say, "Hey, dude, I want to hit Clear Lake,"
Yeah,
do
yeah, it's kind of rough. Like this week alone, I got like 5 texts at Clear Lake, and I'm trying to round them all up. But what I could do, it sucks to go up there for 2 trips or whatnot. You know,
yeah, because that's what a 4 hour drive is for you.
it's 4 hours, which I don't care. I got a killer pad I get to stay at up there. But man, I'd much rather. And then I haven't been there, so you know it's gonna take us a couple hours to get dialed in. What the heck the fish are doing? Um,
Yeah,
Yeah, but I there's been some summers though I've been there for like a month at a time and just wail on them, and it's the funnest thing in the world to guide on Clear Lake. It's not exactly the easiest thing, but man, you whack them on Clear Lake on guide trips, and they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. You take these people out, and you have a good time. They're calling you again as soon as they get the time to want to go up there. So that's what I love about Clear Lake. But there's too many guides, man. It's a nightmare. And Delta, we catch a lot of nice fish in the summer and late spring. I guide a lot right now as well in the Delta, but it's hit or miss. But I luckily I take out a lot of good clients who are there to learn. You know, we go out, we catch some nice fish almost every trip, but man, that Delta, you know, it just ain't that sick this time of year. So
right. Nice. Hey man, I appreciate you hopping on the show tonight.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Christian, thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go spend some time with the family. I just drove down, so I live on the Delta now. Um, and my parents live here in Turlock, so I drove down. We got some dinner tonight, so
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
we'll have to get you back on after you win your next one at Pedro.
We'll
Yeah.
see what's up. I'd love to,
We
man.
we talk a
I'll
little bit more about Pedro not being
we
so
could
hush
talk
hush
about
right
Pedro.
now.
We sure didn't talk too much about Pedro. Funny.
Well,
Well,
Hopefully that
it's all
helps
good.
me.
I don't want you to give out too much juice. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was trying to steer
Gotcha.
away from it.
Gotcha.
That's a little hold.
Scott's in the comments right now probably Oh man, you guys didn't drop any juice.
No, Pedro's cool, man. It's completely different than a couple weeks ago. So,
Yeah.
right on, fellas.
Congrats on the
Thanks,
win,
All
man.
right.
Thanks.
Have
All
a
right.
good dinner, Christian. Thank
Good
you,
luck
All
man.
next
right.
weekend.
I appreciate.
Yeah, appreciate
Later,
you
man.
too. Take care.
All right, guys. I don't know what we're gonna bring you next week, but we'll bring you something.
Hey,
And
did you hear what's winning or leading the Lake Fork in Texas?
108, I think is
One-
what it was.
110.
110. They bumped it up. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
100 plus inches top 10.
But
What was
yeah,
it?
but that it's only a 1-day event, so it's over
Yeah.
at this point.
No, it was. No, it is.
No,
over
they
at this
canceled
point.
yesterday.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it's over now. 7:30 their time. So last update I saw, Jacob Dasher was in like 50th, and that was where it cut off on the Facebook post. Like he was the only one from California that was up there.
No, Scott had like
23rd.
92 inches.
Savco?
Yeah, he was 23rd.
Oh, nice. I must have missed that.
So good job to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully Sean didn't have cell service and he wasn't, couldn't post nothing. So I don't know what Sean was doing. I know I've heard some areas up there pretty spotty. So
Yeah,
far,
I don't know
top
about
13
Drew
over
either.
100. Drew was catching some fish. I saw first thing in the morning. But for dude standings, I went and looked at it like 1 o'clock our time. And they already turned off. So you had to wait
Yeah.
for
Yeah, that's
First-
what I did.
for Steve to post the updates. So yeah,
you
Dave
guys-
Nunez just said top 13 or over 100. So
Either
You guys
way, to go
fishing-
out there and Scott secured a top 30 finish. I mean, no matter what, dude, you're fishing against some freaking sticks out there.
they're good, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, you're
It was-
fishing.
Shallow water sticks, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made one stupid decision on day one that cost me probably, I don't know what it cost me, but I don't think a top 10 for sure by any means, but it definitely, there was fish there that I left to go find some other fish that weren't biting. So, and you can't make those decisions, those mistakes when you're fishing against those guys because they railed on them.
Yeah.
Shane, are you going to Folsom?
No. I'm kind of, dude, this year's just going to be this year. I'm kind of in the middle of a bunch of things right now. So, my kayak actually has been sold. So, I got some things in the works, but, nothing I can really talk about, but I'll be at the Native for sure. The guy who bought my kayak is going to allow me to use it for that. So then after that, I don't know. I have to figure out something before Almanor. So
Hopefully have the new ride by then.
I have
hope.
I have two Hobie 360s, so
Okay.
you need a kayak. I got a spare one. You'd have to do some work to it to get it on the water.
Yeah. That's so. Hopefully, we'll see. Either way, I mean, this year, just with my son going and playing, he's going to be traveling to Texas, Tennessee, and Kansas. So I'm kind of having to reel back a little bit of my tournament fishing for sure to allow him to go have those opportunities, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with. I'm okay with.
kids first. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can always fish another time.
Yeah.
That's
So,
right. All right, you guys.
But-
Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna reach out to some of these guys that were back east. I was trying to get Sean on tonight, but I didn't realize that he was going to be on the water till so late. So, if any of you guys that are back there listening to this on the way home, reach out to me. Let's get you on the show next week. And I'll reach out to Drew and Scott and Sean and Jacob and some of those guys, see what's going on. So, but other than that, guys, thanks for watching. I've got to pack a truck. I'm leaving tomorrow after work, so I got to finish getting ready. And we'll catch you all.
Screw you, dude, having to be able to go on a Friday and go. Jeez.
Catch you all
Good luck.
next week. Thanks, man.
Good luck.
Have a good